How you doing? I'm Brian Piznelli, project manager with Peak Construction. We are in Hudson on Union Street, working with architecture firm Stephen Hall and his partners to build this art gallery / living studio space. It's a really kind of funky build. It's directly in line with what Stephen Hall does. It's one of a kind. It's a piece of art. At first, looking at the plans, it was kind of eye-opening and hard to really put together what it is they were looking to do. So once I took the time and really digested what I was looking at, it became apparent that the design was, brilliant, and it was a project we really wanted to be involved in. The name in the corner of the plans, SHA, kind of said it all. It's not going to be, your typical construction project. It's going to be something, unique. Currently about 1,650 square feet. No basement, so it's slab on grade construction. The heating and cooling element in this house is geothermal. It's geothermal driven with ceiling cassettes down here and one ceiling cassette upstairs, and those are four-way directional cassettes that will disperse the treated air, everywhere we need it. As far as we have been told, we are the only current project in all of the city of Hudson to have an actual well. The city, as most people know, is driven by city water and city sewer, but we drilled a well, and we're going to run our geothermal through that. One of the best parts about this project is the natural light that's allowed to come in this space. Hard part about building here is it's very much in a city, so the space is very tight. So we had to figure out a way to bring in light. It's not our job, that's the architects. And they really did a fantastic job by making all of these natural glass elements kind of pop and bring outside in. We have up in here is, I like to call it the periscope. It's almost like a submarine with this window up there. It gives you the illusion of really not having a roof at all. We have these steel members that run across the whole job that are picking up the majority of the load. The interior of the space is not going to be finished with drywall. It's going to be finished with a wood finish. So it's really going to look like a wooden box throughout the whole thing, everywhere. We're not going to have the ability to tape joints or anything like that. So it was really quite complicated, and I think we nailed it. So I'm hoping I can't wait to see how it's going to look when it's finished. So this down here is the main bathroom on the first floor, the only bathroom on the first floor, and as you can see, it's very tight. It's also going to double as a dog washing station. So it has an integral floor drain right here that was poured into the slab. Everything is pitched to that drain. So you have a shower here, you have a toilet here, you have a vanity here. What's just interesting about this wall is this is actually a glass corner. It really takes a small space and in theory is going to make it much, much bigger. The stairs for this job are going to be a mix between a wood tread and a steel stringer. It's tough because the way everything ties together. Right now, this mezzanine is supported by this kind of temporary wall, but this is gone. And there's actually a steel strut that has to come down from the roof to support the whole mezzanine. There's very little sheetrock in this space. There's some in the bathrooms, but in the main living space and in the studio workspace, the architect and the owner both wanted a plywood wall finish. So we got 4x8 sheets of plywood. They are unfinished, and I think it's coming out pretty cool. For the lower level, to get lights, we're doing a series of shadow box lights that we're building, on the ground, and we're putting up into the ceiling cavities before we finish the ceiling. They're going to be a strip of LED lights up there on the sides, so you're not going to actually see the light, but the light will come down into the space. Part of the beauty of this project is this grand open staircase. This section of stairs here is the open stringer system. I believe it was the architect's intention to not close off any of the elements for the eyesight. So you can see we still have all the natural light that's coming in from these large windows right into this room here, which is going to act as the kitchen. We have a closed riser system here due to the fact that underneath the staircase is going to be, really one of the only closets in the whole space. The whole floor system up here is supported by very small bearing walls and these steel columns. So these tie into the roof system, which are a mixture of LVLs, 2x12s, and flitch plate steel. These points are what supports the whole upstairs mezzanine. This room here is the sleeping quarters of the studio. We have a bed here, bathroom here. This is a large glass partition wall that we're looking at right here. Soaking tub, toilet, vanity. And you'll notice this header system spans across all the windows here in this wall. Now, they're posted here, but the weight of the roof system and everything really drops down on this beam here due to the fact that we're in a cantilever over the outside right now. So all the weight of this whole structure is right here, held by these beams coming down on this column. The structure is heated and cooled by a geothermal system. It's radiant heat in the floor and ducted units up in the ceiling. It's really energy efficient. You can see also another plus is there's zero lights on in this space right now. So, when the sun's out, you really don't need to run any electricity at all. We're also going to have a catwalk from the upper part of the mezzanine there up to this kind of a periscope skylight system. So you can really get up in there and look out the window. And it's just another element of this project that's, pretty fun to figure out and work on. That powder room has a projection of glass that hangs out. It's supported by steel in a couple areas. There wasn't really a whole lot of structure to adhere it on the top. We were able to, figure it out with some unique clips and some custom made pieces. But the exterior window, especially the one in the main space that kind of jackknifes up out of the roof, it's on an angle, and we had to really figure out exactly the best way to make that work. I want to say it's a 600-pound window, and it's hanging, over the space. So we had to put our thinking caps on it and figure it out. Working on the L House, and I believe working with SHA in general, really forced myself and our team to kind of slow down. We're used to a very fast-paced industry. Everything is timed, and people tend to rush through standard projects. This allowed us the minute to take a deep breath and think about all the simple things, the little things, because as I said before, it's a very small footprint, and the little things mattered, and the little things jump out at you. It's a lesson I'll learn when working on higher end or custom projects like this. Like, you really have to take your time and do it right, and I believe we were able to do that. It was nice to be able to do that and to have a team and a client behind us that understood that, okay, we all get what we're doing here. We're not building a structure, we're kind of building a piece of art. And we knew that piece of art, long after we were gone, was going to be there, and it was going to be important to the community, to our client, to the architect, and to our company. Like, we're very proud of that job, and having that L House on our resume is truly, an accomplishment. It's not going to really be the same or similar to anything it goes next to. And you look at it, and you, at first glance, and you're looking at the plans and you're like, okay, like we can do that. And you start to do it, and people walk by and they say, what are you doing? And you just say, we're building a new space here. And then now that it's done and we got to step back and look at it, I've changed my perspective on kind of what belongs and what doesn't. And it's obviously in an older community. It has older structures around it. It has some historical buildings, right there. And it fits. And it fits in a way that it doesn't try to mirror or blend in or hide. It's its own thing. It's not for anybody to say what can go where or what belongs where or what you should build and what you shouldn't, because when there's thought behind it, it works. And it's, it'll be there forever, and it'll be an art piece on that street forever. And I would expect that the street changes. It already has with this structure, and I believe it will continue to.